What's up, everyone? This is AFTERBUZZ and Spotlight on, and we're joined by a very special guest, Mr. Froy Gutierrez. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nick Mardi, and this is AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight on. Thank you so much for joining me. We're joined by an amazing guest today. I personally think he's amazing. I watch a lot of his work, and you know, you've seen him in MTV, ABC. You've seen him in Netflix. Could the list go on for forever? I think it could. Mr. Froy Gutierrez.
That is such an introduction. How can I live up to that? Wow.
Now it's like you got a box almost.
Yeah, almost. Like I have to fight you back.
Standing at a 5 foot.
Standing at a 5'8".
There you go, exactly. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is such a nice studio.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much. I didn't decorate it myself. I can't take credit for the shimmers, or I don't know what you call it.
The beads.
The beads. But I'll take credit for just my red jacket.
All right.
That's all I'll take credit for today.
It's good.
So I want to jump into it right away.
All right.
I thought of this question. I was laughing in my head because I feel like we've all had these auditions, our first auditions, where we're like, oh, this is weird. So I just want you to tell me about your first major audition and your nerves. How were you feeling? What was it for?
Okay. Well, I started my auditions like doing tapes from Dallas and sending them to LA.
Yeah.
And so my first like in-person audition was like a producer session.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. It was a screen test actually. Anyways, it was for a Disney show, and I walked in. It was like the 20th floor of the ABC building. It was super intimidating. I walk in, and there are no lights, except for like a spotlight on me. Ooh. And I can't see any of the people's faces, and it's all these older people in suits.
How old were you? I was
17, so it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't like, I wasn't super young, but it was like enough to really intimidate me.
Yeah.
And I had to sing too, and I just remember, I had to like prepare for like one day in advance. So I just picked "I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You" by The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Which is like, not a Disney song at all. It's about, you know.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You got me.
I got you.
Anyway, so I like got so nervous that I cracked my voice in the middle of it. And,
were you supposed to sing for this?
Was I supposed to sing?
Was it a musical?
It was like
production or something.
It was a pilot about a country music teenager.
Okay.
So.
And your voice cracked.
And my voice cracked.
Did they understand? Were they like, okay, like Simon Cowell? He's like, "Care about it again."
They had no reaction to it whatsoever.
Oh my God.
They weren't like, wow, and they weren't. I mean, they like chuckled a little bit, but I couldn't see their faces, so I couldn't read anything.
That's better than people telling you did great, because I feel like when people tell you did great, it's like you don't get called. That's what
really?
Everyone always discusses in LA. Like we always laugh, but it's like when they don't say anything, it's like worth so much more than, wow, oh my, you are talented.
Is it really? I did not know that.
Yeah, so they had stone cold faces.
I am so terrible at reading people in the room.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I think that I did the worst job of my whole life, and then they call me back for it. And then I feel like I did the most amazing work I've ever done as an actor, and I don't even get a call back. So it's like, what you gonna do?
I feel like every time, sometimes we feel like we did our worst, they see our best. Because maybe it's like when we're not overthinking it.
Maybe. I don't know, but I've definitely had auditions where like, the best work that I've done as an actor have been in the audition room.
Really?
Yeah, for me. Like, a lot of it is not televised or recorded.
Okay, that's pretty pro then, because you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and do my thing.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's just, I don't know. It's easier to get into it in an audition, I think.
So you're from Dallas.
You're from Austin.
I'm from Austin.
We're Texas people.
Check us out. We're pretty tall. We're pretty tall together too.
You're really tall. I'm 5'10". You're like 6'5" or something.
Yeah, 6'3".
6'3".
I should have stuck with a 6'5". What did I do? Now everyone tuning in is gonna be like, oh, never mind. I was interested.
I did say 5'8" at the beginning, so now you're gonna be 5'8".
I'll be 5'8".
You know, sitting down, we're like kind of the same height.
Yeah, chill. Just straight back, like Dad always taught us. Straight back.
Exactly.
Chest forward.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, and also my dad never told me that, so you always hear it in movies.
Do you?
Yeah, you know that dad's always like the military dad or something like that.
I don't think I'm watching the same movies as you.
I'm watching Lifetime, man. I'm watching Lifetime. A lot of Lifetime and We.
I into Lifetime. I have not seen Lifetime.
I'm not dogging on Lifetime and We. So talk about the transition from Dallas to LA, because you're here now.
I don't know. I don't think
What brought you? Was there a big project or a project that just said, you know what, you got to come to LA now?
I can't say I've like really made the decision to move here yet. I'm still like I had the lease for like 3 months in the place that I'm staying, just for Teen Wolf, because we were shooting for forever. That took like 9 months to shoot the whole season.
Yeah.
So like I had to be here for that, obviously.
And how old were you then?
18.
Okay.
18 now. Same.
Okay.
Same age. Anyway, yeah. So for me, it's like I don't feel like I'm a citizen of LA at all. I still feel like Dallas is my home. That's what I know.
I don't think anyone really in LA even thinks they're a citizen of LA though, because everyone you meet, you're like, where are you from? Iowa, Columbus.
Yeah, they're from all over the world.
Everywhere.
For sure. And yeah, it's definitely a city of foreigners, I would say. Like
So-
everyone moves here.
Everyone has a real home,
Yeah.
but you're in LA.
And for me, I'm really thankful that I moved here kind of like when I'm 18, because I just remember when I came here for the first time, I was like 14. I was just like blown away by how amazing it was. But knowing it now and knowing the culture, like I don't think it's a good place to grow up during your adolescence at all. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
do wonder was some actors who were super young just get started right away in LA and
yeah, I think this whole industry is really weird, and we just don't acknowledge how weird it is.
we don't talk, we don't discuss it.
And so for me, like everywhere I go, I'm always just like like painfully aware of how strange it is that I'm in these situations and I'm talking to you in this like brightly lit room.
Instead of just chilling.
Instead of just chilling,
I
at
understand.
home in the yard.
I got you.
barefoot.
Sometimes it's like, I guess it's weird, especially when you're on set and there's like 50 people behind the camera and you're in front of it and you're like, what am I doing right now? Oh my God. But then all staring at you like, action. Like, oh,
I
geez.
guess it can be.
Hey.
For me, a set feels like work. It's like the PR and the parties and like the people that are like very strange for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So doing stuff like this or like radio also and
Yeah, it just feels very presentational,
Oh.
which isn't a bad thing. I'm not like trying to diss on
I think
PR
we're
firms or
done.
anything.
Thank you so much for tuning the AfterBuzz Spotlight on.
My Uber got here. I gotta head out.
You gotta head out from here.
Yeah.
No.
You can't leave.
No, but that's so true that it's kind of like that.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that I had like a very normal upbringing for sure. And it
Did you play
wasn't
on the
until
street?
later. Did I what?
Play on the street,
Basically.
basketball, football, right?
I did a lot of soccer growing up. I didn't do any basketball or football.
Dallas FC. Did you play select?
No, I played soccer with like a bunch of my dad's friends' kids in the backyard with like terrible, like we did it with avocados one year. It was really bad.
Really?
Yeah. We didn't have a soccer ball that year.
In Dallas?
In Dallas.
There was nowhere to find academy.
Well, there were soccer balls, but like when you're 8, like how are you gonna go buy one?
When you're 8 and you see an avocado, you're just like, we gotta play.
Basically,
we gotta do it. What were the goals?
It's fun stuff. The goals were
Pico de gallo.
they were real goals. That would have been great though.
Then you just have a little tortilla
guac.
chips as a referee, and you just all of a sudden you have a little fest, don't you?
Basically, that's just how. It was.
I feel that, man. I'm about that. Now I'm about to go home. All right, we need avocado. Froy, what'd you say? Okay, pico is a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's sick, dude. And then I mean, I feel like the transition, especially. Not that, this is about little Nick Mardi, but it is an interesting transition from especially Texas. So quiet, more or less, even though Dallas is a major, city. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden to this busy, fast-paced LA. Who are you? What do you do? Oh my God, put this, do this. All right, dance on one foot. Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. And I can easily see how people that would like grow up in this environment would have like a very difficult time understanding who they are, like in the midst of all of this.
People telling them who they should be,
like what they should be doing. I don't know. So I'm personally very thankful that like I didn't start working when I was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had that break.
I feel the same way because now while I'm doing Marvel, Infinity War, and I'm doing the new Toy Story, I'm humble. I'm not doing Marvel or Toy Story. I'm just saying that I'm not even there,
I was wondering,
bro.
like, you're humble?
Yeah, I'm doing Marvel.
I'm
I'm Captain America's brother, bro. Recognize this? No.
I am the Captain America.
I am the Captain America, dude.
Exactly.
So let's jump into, because it was a very popular show, Belle and the Bulldogs, which I actually caught it the other day. It was a rerun. It's a funny show, man.
It's a really
funny
show.
I feel like when I grew up, in Disney, not that I'm 25, so we're not even that far apart. Or should I say 24? I have to stick with 25 now. I did it again to myself.
You did it again.
I did it again. But I grew up in
25.
6'5", 25. I'm 23. I'm so young. No, but when I grew up in my Disney was the Disney originals. I don't even know. I can't even remember any of the names, but it was so different from Disney and Nickelodeon of today. And I feel like there's only like one banger show out nowadays at a time during one season or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Bella and the Bulldogs, I feel like was that. And I mean, it's a girl who's leading all these Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool idea, and I'm glad it came together for the time being. And how was it, being a part of that kind of show where it's a female lead who's so powerful?
I think that's really cool, and I think we should be seeing way more of it. I don't know. It's interesting for me because like the women I see in my life are like, they're all that very strong, like very independent people that like are people that we talk about in these kind of interviews. Like we need to be seeing more of.
Yeah.
And, like you never see them represented on TV usually, which is really strange for me because like those are the people that I see in my life.
Yeah, you mean represented as like just a mother or a great friend who is as strong and can lead many people like she does in the show.
Yeah, basically. So.
Yeah. No, I feel it. I do agree with you. I agree with you, and I think that maybe you have an opportunity. Maybe you can pitch something.
Exactly.
For something Froy's female family, and everyone else, and they're super strong. Who in your life is strong that you're kind of comparing it to?
Well, my mother, she was just always like, my parents were divorced, so she was like very independent with the way that she raised me, and she was also working, and she was also a fantastic mother to me, and really taught me a very strong sense of morals, and like, I don't know, she was just a really fantastic mother, and I never really thought of her as like the caricatures that I would see on television sometimes.
Yeah. Like I guess even a lot of the times, we see maybe more female characters who are more goofy, ditzy all the time instead of these leading powerful women. Yeah,
and I just think that now more and more these days we're just seeing a lot more. It's just getting realer, I think, and that's good.
Well, we see who I guess who is a character right now on TV or film that you think is a powerful female character?
That's a really good question. Britt Marling. She's the actress. She's on the OA on Netflix.
Okay.
I just think she's so brilliant. She produces, she directs, she writes everything that she's in.
Yeah.
And she's just so stellar because her characters are well-rounded, and they're not like, they're people and they have flaws, and they're just like, nothing about her is like traditional, I would say, in that sense of like.
So it's on and off screen. She's powerful.
Yeah. So like I really respect her a lot, and
no.
So I don't know. I feel like there's tons of examples nowadays, and that's a very good thing.
What kind of example do you want to kind of leave behind for other people, or even while you're still going about this career? What kind of example do you want to display for everyone else who loves to follow you and watches your work?
Oh, I don't know. That's a really good question. That's like something.
Because you seem like you're a very kind guy. I can already tell right now. I mean, you're with him more often than I am. This could just be an on-screen thing that we always hear about. TMZ is gonna come out.
Maybe.
I believe it.
TMZ
I
is
believe
gonna come
good
out. Froy punches a photographer.
I mean, this guy has stores all around him in Dallas that carry soccer balls, and he says, "No, I will make do with what's in the refrigerator. I will make do with avocado." That's humble.
I don't know about that. I'm just a very disgusting person, honestly. Like, you'll catch me at my house barefoot and like running in the backyard. I don't know.
Just running in a straight line like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I'm just a very lame person. Like, there's nothing to
Dude, you're not
me.
lame. You're not lame. You're not lame. If you did, what is it? You said can't feel my face in front of many older people. That's brave.
Oh, gosh.
That's not normal, my man.
Well,
you are a genius.
That's more embarrassing.
I'm gonna sing
instead of normal.
It's not embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, man. That's awesome. I think the example you're already leaving behind is you're very kind. Even when I met you before this went off.
It's that Southern hospitality.
True.
There we go.
True. I got you the water. You're like, oh, let me take your jacket. I'm like, oh no, I'm wearing my jacket. And you're like, we just went back and forth
Exactly.
with it.
It's just what we do. From
Southern pride.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeehaw, yeehaw.
You know it, y'all.
You know, right? So, now, how is being bilingual? Is it very helpful in this career? I would assume, obviously, yes. But so do you do a lot more Spanish projects as well, as much as you do an English project?
I mean, I definitely think the representation for Latinos is still very underrepresented, for sure. I mean, I think there are still a lot of groups in Hollywood that are not being represented as they are in real life, and I think Latinos are one of them. And then, although I'm bilingual and that's great and everything, I don't think I'm so white passing. Like, I have blue eyes and blonde hair and freckles. Like, I don't think I could realistically play a full Latino person, or like casting directors are thinking me that way, just because there's still a bit of a misconception where, like,
do you go with like ethnically ambiguous?
I can. The character I played on One Day at a Time, which is centered on a Cuban American family. On Netflix. My character is half Latino.
Okay.
And like I am in real life. Like, my dad is an immigrant. He came from Guadalajara, Jalisco, in Mexico.
We have really good close family friends from there. I swear. Even though you said it fast, I was like, I caught on to it.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And so my character on One Day at a Time, his father is also Mexican. So it's like, and his mother is white from the U.S. So it's like, it's cool for me, that was the first character that I played that was mixed, like I am.
Yeah.
And so that was very cool to me. But like, I understand why I probably wouldn't be cast as a Latino person just because I'm so white passing.
I think that's something that we can discuss that we would like to see change.
Sure. I mean,
because do I look white?
Yes.
'Cause I'm not white.
But you're not white, and that's the thing.
I'm Persian. I'm like Middle East. Do you see any Middle Eastern guy looking this white? I look like I haven't been in the sun, bro.
I mean, I think that there's just like race and ethnicity are definitely things that we need to be talking about more, and I think that there's a lot more to explore. But there's still like the front that we're on right now is we need to see more representation for the more marginalized people. Like I have a lot of privilege because I'm white passing, and so I understand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I think that it's cool that you're like, I get the benefits of it and I recognize it, but I'd like to address it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just because I'm white passing doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to speak about Latino issues close to my heart and my family. And because like I grew up that way, I spent like half my childhood in Mexico, and so it's like very much a part of me. And so it would feel weird for me to not talk about it. But by that same virtue, I understand, because I'm so white passing, that I understand why I wouldn't be cast in those kinds of roles, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's your fan base mostly? What is it called?
That's
Majority
so
of. Well, I mean, like, is it a bigger Mexican fan base or Spanish fan base, Mexican American, or is it Americans mainly?
Honestly,
even though we're all Americans here, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you said you grew up in Mexico, do you have a fan base from maybe that area?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I think just like with the advent of the internet and social media, I think like every fan base, I feel so weird to say that, but every fan base in general tends to be like much more global than we would like to think. I have a lot of Brazilian friends on the internet for sure, so like that encompasses a large majority for sure, and then the remainder are probably American, and then I have a few Mexican people that reach out to me as well, but not necessarily the majority or anything.
Yeah, it's funny when people like on Instagram say, "Where's everyone from?" And all of a sudden you go to the comments and it's like every country, including the aliens on Mars, are all like, "I'm a fan," and I'm like, there's not one like specific country or person, I guess. Like you're saying, it's even Brazil, then it's America, then it's Mexico, and then I'm sure that's not even including 80 others that are definitely on that list somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just we're becoming a more global society, I think, and I think social media is helping that. Yeah, it's a good direction to go in.
It's a good direction. Now, if you had any opportunity to become a part of any film franchise, like all the way from National Lampoon Vacation to Marvel to even what was it? Stuart Little 1 and 2? I'm talking everything.
Oh my gosh.
What would you like to be a part of?
That is a really good. You have very good questions. You're gonna floor me.
I'm feeling good, my man.
He's in it.
I'm in it to win it today.
I love Marvel. I've always been a Marvel fan. If they were to do a sequel to Fight Club,
whoa, that's a good one.
Obsessed
Okay,
with that. Fight Club is like my all-time favorite movie.
That's your all-time favorite movie?
Yeah. Avatar too. I was obsessed with Avatar when it came out.
Yeah.
And they're like the second one's coming out next year.
I think it took like however many years.
It took so long to even create it. But yeah, like if they were to do a third one, Sign me up.
Wow. Okay. Avatar is a really good one because that actually touches on a lot of things. I feel like you are very movement focused. You're trying to you're trying to create big change. You may not be standing with a picket, but you're trying to create change, which is really cool. And that I say that even on top, the cherry, on top is you saying that one of your favorite movies that you'd love to be a part of would be Avatar, and they touch so much on the green movement and how we're destroying our Earth. So, I mean, I think you're trying to create a lot of change. I can't wait till you have an even bigger voice.
Oh, gosh.
And I can't wait to see. I'm not even rapping. I'm just saying I'm excited about what this guy's doing.
I just think that as an artist, it's your duty to reflect the times and to be honest and to share your worldview. Like, you can't be an actor or a singer or a dancer, even a dancer without having some perspective to share. And I think that every artist has to bring that to the table, and if you're not, then it's just very vapid, I think. And I think that with the platform that is allowed to us as actors and musicians and what have yous, like interview hosts, like it's kind of our duty to touch on topics that might be considered controversial and to just bring things to light that people might not be talking about.
No, that's true. And I feel like that all comes with a job. It's like you're not just, like you're saying, when you're in the light, you have everyone's eyes are on you. They're listening to what you say. You have a lot of young kids who are listening to what you're saying and are influenced by exactly what you do. And
that's crazy to think about.
It is a little bit weird, right?
Yeah, it's very weird.
Froy did it. Okay. No, Froy did not throw a ball at the window and break it, okay?
Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna be a terrible role model. I need to be better.
No.
Oh gosh.
So what are the top 3 favorite movies? Because you said you've been a fan of Marvel, then Fight Club, and then Avatar. Because top 3 always describes a person very well.
See, whenever I get questions like that, like top 3 favorite songs or albums or movies, like I always forget every movie I've ever seen.
Let's go with least favorite movie of all time.
Oh no, I don't want to be rude.
Oh really?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. We won't mention it. We won't mention it.
Not a least favorite movie.
What's a movie? What's the last movie you enjoyed?
The last movie I really
Don't
enjoyed.
say Fate of the Furious. I will say it. I hated it, and they're gonna make another one. How are you gonna do that without me? That's my problem with it. No, just kidding. It wasn't good. But that's what I saw. Didn't enjoy it.
Oh, I think there have been so many good movies over the past year. I'm a big fan of.
What's the last one?
The last one.
Don't say Sharknado for.
I love Sharknado for. I would say, I've seen La La Land like 7 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It was a great film.
I'm a big fan of that film for sure.
It was a great film.
And top 3 favorite movies, I would say, Fight Club is number 1 for me, and then Drive, Ryan Gosling.
Uh-huh.
You know that?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. I love the song.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so good. It's just like it's executed so brilliantly. And I'll get back to you on the third.
Get back to me on the third. So maybe would one of your favorite stars to do any projects with could possibly be like Edward Norton? Would that be one of them?
I love Edward Norton so much.
Because I feel like Fight Club, that's one of the greatest actors of all time in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's
for
amazing.
Sure. And Brad Pitt, he's just such a cinematic chameleon,
Really,
he's just so talented. I have a lot of people that I really look up to, and I get starstruck so easily.
Really?
I remember I read Stephen Tobolowsky's book, The Dangerous Animals Club, and my freshman year of high school. And he's on One Day at a Time, and I brought it to ask him to sign it, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I always choked on my words. I'm such a fan of.
Even though you're an equal on set.
I don't think of myself that way at all, which is the funny thing.
You're on the same set, man.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. I still get very nervous.
Yeah, no, I get you. See, this guy is humble.
I don't know.
What is? I want some to rub off on me. Get on the street. Thank you. Hi. How are you?
I don't know about that, but
it's got to rub off on LA, because people say people here, aren't as nice, and look at this guy implementing change. Kindness.
I don't know about that. I just I don't know. That's just who I am. I'm a very I like to think of myself as a very grounded person, and a lot of that is due to my background. Like, I come home and a Nickelodeon episode is airing, and I'm like, Mom, look, I'm on TV, and she's like, that's great, you should wash the dishes.
Oh my God.
You know, so I'm just, I don't know.
That's cool to stay.
That was a
like
terrible
that.
response to your question. I don't know. Meh.
Give me another one.
Meh. Another one. I
Another
can't
one.
articulate
Pass.
this today. Exactly.
You want to phone a friend? No, not even worth my time.
Not even worth
Phone
my
a
time.
friend.
Next
Something
question.
else. Something else.
Please.
So now, is the next project coming up? Is it? I saw a Halloween Party, which is a short.
Yeah, that's a fun short that we did last
How long?
October.
It's coming out next October. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a short about a Halloween party that goes kind of crazy.
Like Project XE?
I would say Project XE, but with like an occult twist.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
very cool. How many days did it take to shoot that?
We shot it in a weekend, and we just like did not sleep.
Wow.
That was a crazy thing.
Do-
I was shooting Teen Wolf
Oh, okay.
at the time, and so I was like, we were working 18-hour days and at like all-night shoots on Teen Wolf, and then we do an all-night shoot for that project, and then I had this movie that I was like really passionate about and that I was
Yeah.
going in for producer sessions for that weekend, and so it was just a whirlwind of a week for sure, and I
So
didn't
you're
sleep for like
Halloween
5 days.
Party. Well, what are you talking? What did I do?
What did I do?
What did I
Exactly.
do?
It's all a blur to me, man. It's all a blur.
How was it being a part of Teen Wolf? Such a huge following.
It's insane. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, I was at zoo camp, and I I promise it's gonna go back to Teen Wolf.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
And so I was at zoo camp, and we were going down the zoo, and they have like posters advertising different things back in Dallas
Yeah.
for different projects and TV shows and whatnot. And I remember seeing Teen Wolf, and it was Tyler Posey with his shirt off, like
Right? Yeah, yeah.
and I remember thinking at the time, I'm like, that show looks pretty dark, but like I think I'm old enough to watch it. Whoa. Like little 10-year-old me was like,
Yeah.
wow. And it's just so funny to me. It's very full circle to like be on that show.
Yeah.
And the character that I have the privilege of playing on that show is just so well rounded and so different from me. And I think he's also very true. Just like how we're talking about like very true people and like just
Yeah.
how realistic things are getting
You feel
nowadays.
he has the same personality, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to, which I'm very excited about.
That's nice. Instead of someone with superpowers and like, man, I want to be like that guy, but
Yeah.
relatable.
He's very relatable, but he's also very weird. Like I don't think anyone, like if you met him in person, I don't think you'd want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
But like it kind of comes at him from a very sympathetic approach, like the
Yeah,
storytelling. So I'm very excited to see it.
That's awesome. Teen Wolf. I know because I know it has a huge following.
Yeah.
And it started at a time when there was a bunch of vampire, werewolf.
After the Twilight rampage.
Yeah, the Twilight rampage, and all of a sudden, like 20-year-old wolves weren't good enough. It was like we got to make teens.
Exactly.
We gotta
Well, it's
make-
actually a reboot of a movie from the 80s called Teen Wolf.
I did not know that.
There you go. The more you know.
The more you know.
Exactly. There you go.
That's cool though. And then you had the Goldbergs, and then A Day at a Time, like you were saying, one day at a time, and Netflix. How cool is it, to be a part of a show on Netflix?
I'm in love with Netflix. I think they're so good.
That's what I hear from other people who we've been in.
Yeah, I just think they're so easy to work with, and they give a lot of permission for artists to be artists.
Yeah.
Which is like there wasn't like a set length for each episode. There wasn't like a time slot, and there wasn't like a slot that got changed in the weekly lineup or anything. So like there was a lot less pressure.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot more liberty to be creatively, more free flowing, just
Yeah.
because of the nature of a streaming service.
Yeah, it's like I guess when it all first started, there was HBO kind of thing where you had more permission to do different things because it was a major network.
Yeah.
It was just okay. Yeah, more blood is cool.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
instead of anywhere else.
And I mean, One Day at a Time, it's a sitcom, but every episode touches on a very relevant and serious topic, and that's what I really admire about that show, for sure. And just getting to be a part of that was insane for me.
For fans who are, love your character, what do you want them to take away most from, I guess, everything you do on the show? Like how you go about issues or lessons learned.
On One Day at a Time?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I feel like there's a lot of people who are mixed now. Like I'm mixed, like we were just saying. There's a ton of people all over the world who are now mixed. It's a lot more common to see. And so I feel like it's very relatable to have a mother from here and a father from here. So
Yeah, and I think that was just part of the backdrop of his character. It wasn't like the only thing about him that they were championing or anything. I mean, it's centered on real people. They just happen to be Cuban American. The mom just happens to be a veteran, and I think like the main message that I want people to take away from my character specifically is something that you wouldn't really learn until the last episode, and so I don't want to give out any spoilers. So
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna skip that question.
See, like, it's not just a lesson learned along the way. It's like you get a boom.
Yeah, I
lesson.
think like he's very much the stereotypical jock, and that he's just like he's very beef over brains, and what's it called?
Bronze
Over brains? I don't know. Anyway, he's very much a stereotypical jock, but he like the way he handles things that happen in the TV show is very against that archetype, which I very much appreciate. So I don't know. I think it's
you're changing the game,
cool.
my man.
I'm not changing the game. That's all the writers. I just give a face.
Take
to
a little
it.
bit of credit when I give it to you. You're like, it wasn't me.
Oh god.
You're changing the game.
I don't know about that.
And I'm interested in the lesson now that's going to be learned.
Ooh, yeah.
The last
You'll have to check it
episode.
out. The last episode.
Dang. You know when the release is on that last episode?
Yeah, well, it's all out there. You can
It's
stream
all
the
out
whole
there?
season.
Okay. My bad on the last episode. But when you're a fan of One Day at a Time, then everyone can just catch it. Or, for people who haven't caught it yet. So that's good that you didn't release it.
Yeah.
So anything that we can look forward to coming up soon enough?
Soon enough. Cowgirl Story came out this Tuesday, which is pretty crazy. Last Tuesday. I don't know. 2 days
We
ago.
had the weekends. I filmed another short. I had a
Oh
producer
gosh!
session again.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So Cowgirl Story's out and it's in the world and it's our little baby. You know, Bailey Madison who produced it at 17. That's insane. And Chloe Lukasiak and Aiden Alexander who like worked on the project, and we just like really much we put our heart and souls to it, and it's very handmade. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's very very warm and it's very bright, and it has like the framework of a typical family film, but it kind of like reaches outside of that. So we're all very proud of it.
Gotta catch a Cowgirl Story now.
Exactly.
It's out now.
iTunes.
Yep. All of them. Little Dallas shot to all of them.
Exactly. All the cameras.
And then anything else?
This is me getting in your camera.
Gunshot with me.
Oh, I did gunshot with you. Okay. And then the other thing would be Teen Wolf. This summer. Later in the summer. I'm very thrilled about that. And I think the character is very different for Teen Wolf and for me, and I don't know. I'm excited.
Man, why don't you check that out? And then October, Halloween.
The Halloween party, October. Yes.
So you got a couple things lined up.
Yeah, it's always good to have things lined up.
That is.
For sure. And then I'm working on music at the moment. And I've been in the studio for the past couple of weeks. So those will be out towards the end of the year. So I'm excited about that.
See, you said you don't like to dance, and I knew you were musically talented. I was like, man, maybe he's... What? Did I read wrong? I was like, what did I read wrong?
Oh, gosh.
He doesn't like to dance. This guy's a dancer, I thought.
I don't know. I just get very embarrassed dancing in front of a camera because it's like it's there forever.
No, dude. Actually, yeah. I just go like this.
Well, that's me too. Like I inherited my
keep it
cheesy
there.
dancing skills from my dad. So
What instruments do you play? Real quick.
my laptop.
Oh, GarageBand?
GarageBand. Basically, I can kind of play the guitar, and I can kind of play the piano.
And sing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Singing in Spanish or English?
English. I mean, I can sing in Spanish. I'm very bad at like rhyming words in Spanish though.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally articulate when I'm speaking it, but it's like when it comes to rhyming, I'm terrible at writing poems in Spanish.
Just don't
I need to work
do
on
love
it.
songs or rap.
Exactly.
And then you'll be good.
There you
Do
go.
an indie rock song
There
in
you
Spanish.
go. Exactly. It's just how you do
Not
it.
much rhyming. But where can
yeah.
we find you? On social media and everywhere else?
Instagram is at Froy, F-R-O-I. And then Snapchat is at Froy Gutierrez, which is Gutierrez.
I know y'all just heard this. Your Instagram is at Froy.
At Froy.
Yo, how do you get that name, bro? That name is hard to get a hold of. Whoever got you that,
This is our friend.
Froy is difficult to get.
Froy, it was.
I like how it's so small, but I'm like...
It was in the account. It was in the hands of this person who like didn't use the account at all. So I don't know.
Well done. So Froy on Instagram, Froy Gutierrez on Snapchat, Twitter.
Twitter, Froy next door, like the boy next door, but Froy.
Because he's handsome Ben. It makes complete sense.
I
Makes
don't know
complete
about that.
sense. And then anything you want to tell everyone listening and watching?
I
I like how I'm like, and then do you want to do this? Come on, Froy.
have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Thank
That's
you
what I
guys
have to
so
say.
much for watching. I'm Nick Mardi, and this is AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. We were joined by Froy Gutierrez.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you so
me.
much for being here.
Thank you so much for
I had a
having
lot
me.
of fun, and I feel like I'm going to be a better person now.
I don't know about that. I love this room. It's very pretty.
Maybe you can have a shimmer or two.
Exactly.
On the way out.
I'll take a shimmer on the way out.
Thank you guys so much. We'll catch y'all later.
All right. Thank you. Wait. I don't know.
Oh,
All right.
gunshots again.
Gunshots. Back and forth.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. You're good.
Okay.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.